I will pose the same question to you about fat. You said, like you said, what a hard thing about being fat.
Oh, that's it. Oh, you know what? Because I wanted to go along with your
Will
sweating.
catch me slipping if I'm actually thinking you're acting different. Manic, spitting sounds of manic depressing. Going through.
Yeah.
If you see a fat person, doing squats at the gym, applaud that person. Okay? Applaud that fucking person. Because when they start stacking plates on listen, you skinny piece of shit, no one cares that your legs can lift 250.
Right.
My legs have been lifting 250 since the day I was conceived. And now I put another 250 on a bar. That is far more impressive than anything you've done here, you skinny piece of shit. So if you see any person squatting, that's a thing that people don't understand. When I go to the gym, and I've had this conversation with bigger people, because it's like, you can't imagine how hard it is already. You know what I mean? And people think, well, you've been carrying that weight your whole life. Your legs are already strong. And it's like, no, that's not how it works, bro. There's only been one fat person we've ever seen dunk a basketball, and that's fucking Cadillac. Not Cadillac.
Escalade.
Escalade.
You said the brand, not the model. Brand,
yeah. His first name is Cadillac. His last name is Escalade. And I think he passed away.
Yeah, he did. R.I.P.
Yeah, of course he did. He was a massive human being. That's the only big person we've ever seen slam dunk a basketball. If it worked that way, I could lose 100 pounds and dunk on someone tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? Just because we're big don't mean our legs are accustomed to carry the weight. You know what I mean? Now, you run into people like Fred or I. Fred's legs are made out of pistons. You know what I mean? He has Ford pistons in his legs. I do not have Ford pistons. You know what I mean? So when you see me bench pressing, all the damage to my back that I've done over the years, again, carrying weight, picking up refrigerators and throwing them, well, guess what? The refrigerator weighed 600 pounds, but my body weighed 400 pounds. So I had to carry a ton this one time. You know what I mean? And people are half a ton. People don't get that. You know what I mean? Like, skinny people can never understand what it really means. Even like waking up, like you wake up in the morning. And when you're big and you wake up, I mean, it's a deadlift. You know what I mean? It's a whole thing when you wake up. Like, it takes multiple movements. Skinny people just hop out of bed. I imagine skinny people hop out of bed. Like, remember Christian Bale in Dark Knight when he throws himself on the floor and just starts doing push-ups?
Oh, yeah.
That's how skinny people just be. You know what I mean? Their bodies are just feather light, and they can do stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? Just hanging like monkey bars off the sills of their walls, going from room to room. And meanwhile, I get up, my back is a curvature, I'm cracking in a bunch of different places that I shouldn't be cracking at. It's horrible. You know what I mean?
I got another one for you.
Okay.
This was it. Because this gives me anxiety. Okay. Now, I think we talked about it before, about airlines, right? I think we might have talked about planes.
Oh, I don't think we talked about planes, but we can talk about planes. Go ahead.
So, okay. So this actually goes hand in hand with planes, right? I'll say the other thing, and then I'll go back to plane, because plane is just so much good material. If you ever go to a baseball game or any type of event like that, those seats, there's two things you're worrying about, right? First of all, you're not going to fit in the seat.
Nope, no question about it.
And you're going to overflow into the other.
Yep.
So the anxiety of having to sit next to someone,
the worst.
And you know that they cannot stand it, right?
No. I mean, you're impeaching it to 20% of their area. Easily 20%.
And then not only that, but then there's no leg room either, right? So if you're a taller, big person, like me or Brian, dude, I'm holding. Like, if I need to go to the bathroom, I'm not getting up. Once I get in, if I'm in the middle, I'm staying there. Because the anxiety I have of bringing my fat behind and saying, excuse me, and of the potential of possibly tipping over into the other eye, like, dude, it's a wrap.
Yeah, because you're wiping out people. You know,
dude,
you're taking people.
Dude, I went to a game one time. We got there a little late, and I saw, like, how far my ticket was. We ended up not sitting there. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And then we just walked around and we like stood around and watched the game. Because,
yeah, I would rather do that anyway, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For that exact reason.
So then if you take that, right, and you go into the flight, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. But worse. It's arguably worse.
It's worse. And the thing is, I fly, maybe a couple times a year, so, and every time I'm like, how do we take this? How do we we're like the seats are getting smaller, while America's getting fatter.
Correct.
And we're like, yeah, this is acceptable.
Yeah.
We're gonna take this. That's just kind of where, that kind of shows you like having a monopoly.
Correct.
Like people are just squeezing every single dollar.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, if you want like 2 more inches, that economy plus,
which is a bullshit.
Which is nothing.
Nonsense.
The only real thing there is the
First
only
class.
real option you got is first class.
First class. Yeah, the last time when I went to Seattle, I told my job, I was like, this was when I was bigger too.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way I'm sitting in coach for 7 hours. I'm just too fat to do it. You know what I mean? It's just no way. So that time they upgraded me to first class. But every time I flew since then, I upgraded myself to first class. Because it was just like, I'm just not going to do it. I'd rather pay.
Dude, it's not worth the anxiety.
I'd rather pay the money. You know what I mean? Though I remember there was this one time, this is a godsend, and I don't know what this man did. I got on a flight. When was this? Was this Atlanta? No, this was not Atlanta. I was on first class. This was Dallas, I think, when I came back from Dallas. And on my flight back from Dallas, there was someone sitting next to me right before the flight took off. And my man, I felt so bad because, I'm infringing all over this shit. You know what I mean? My man got up and just disappeared for the entire flight. And as we were landing, came back. Bro, I don't know. We flew from Dallas. It was like a 4-hour flight. I don't know where he went. He just left. You know what I mean? Maybe he sat in another place and then he came back, sat his seat, and I thanked him. I thanked him for it. You know what I mean? Because I knew I'm infringing all over his shit. You know what I mean? I'm spilling all over. I might as well hug him the whole flight. Yeah. My man disappeared. It became the most comfortable flight. One of the most comfortable flights of my life. On my way to Dallas, I got off the plane and had 2 massive welts on the side of my hips because those seats were so fucking tight. You know what I mean? They're narrow, and I'm not a narrow behind man. You know what I mean? So that was it. That was the last time I flew coach. I flew first class every time since then. You know what I mean? Because not because I'm bougie. Well, yeah, I'm bougie too, but because I didn't fit in those fucking seats.
Yeah. No one. No. Yeah. And the thing is, that's the thing. No one would sacrifice, if it's like a 3-hour flight or a 2-hour flight or whatever, you're not going to do like if you can, if you don't need to, if I'm Kayla's size, I don't care.
No, of course.
She clears both sides.
She just exists. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's fine. That person would not upgrade.
Yeah.
But me, it don't matter. It's still, dude, if you get a window seat, first of all, you're in a tube. So the window seat, you sometimes you because you could kind of push in.
Doing all this shit right here, you know what
I mean? But then dude, can you imagine that if you sit on that side, you there's only a certain amount of height you can have.
No, there's not a lot.
Or the curve hits you.
Correct. Yeah, I sit kind of hunchback, looking out the window. You know what I mean? I come out with a whole another injury.
So now that you lost all the weight, but you said you haven't gone back.
I haven't flown since. Well, I haven't flown in the last 2 years or so. You know what I mean? But I would imagine
your job said they ain't paying for first class no more.
They said, no, we're not sending this motherfucker nowhere else. No, but I was upgrading myself the last couple of times. The last couple of flights, I was upgrading myself. They weren't gonna foot that. They understood Seattle. You know what I mean? Because I'm flying cross country. It's an 8-hour flight.
Right.
And then after that experience, I knew I would never fly coach again because it's just free drinks. How do you give that up? And in the airport, there's no rules in the airport. You can start drinking at any time. It doesn't matter.
No, dude. I can't. I remember I got upgraded one time to first class. It's one of those things that was probably better if I hadn't. because like I got spoiled, and then like every time I'm in coach, I'm mad.
Yeah, but the problem is first class is not everything that people makes it out to be. Business class is really the thing that's like,
right.
Oh, that's where the shit is. First class is just bigger seats and free drinks. You know what I mean? That's really all it is. You know what I mean? Like, but the bigger seats when you're fat, I mean, it's just, that's another thing skinny people can't relate to. It's literally more expensive to be fat. It just is more expensive.
It is.
If I want to buy,
clothes cost more.
Clothes cost more, underclothes cost more, everything costs more. If I want to get on a plane, I got people bitching I shouldn't have to sit next to a fat person. You're right. Yeah. You're right, person. I understand. It's mad insensitive because I'm standing here. I'm sitting here. And you're insensitive as fuck. You're right, but it hurts my feelings. You feel me? But you're right, and it sucks. You know what I mean? I don't want to exist like this. I can't lose weight for you today. I'm so,
right.
There's nothing I can do today about this. You know what I mean? Maybe in a year I'll come back and we can fly together somewhere else. But today, I'm sorry. I've let you down. You know what I mean? Like, flying is a good one, man. Flying, I've never gone to the bathroom on an airplane in my life.
I mean,
I don't even know what the bathroom looks like.
I don't think I might have went in the, like, when I was younger, but.
Never. I held it. Well, luckily, when I flew from Seattle, there was a connector in Minnesota.
Right.
Which the Minnesota airport had banging sushi, which is whatever, I'm fat. So, Minnesota's airport is fire. Anyway, there was a connector, so I could hold it until I got to the Minnesota, went to the bathroom, and then jumped on the next flight. But other than that, I've never. Not only have I never gone to the bathroom, I've never gotten up on an airplane. As soon as I sit in the seat, I am there to stay. Yeah. If we crash, I die here in this seat. This is my throne. This is where I land. This is where I rest. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not making it out of here. Let me go. Just don't hold on to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good. You know, that's it. There's more. There's more I have in my mind. Along the row of uncomfortable seats, when you go to a restaurant, don't ask a fat person if they want a table or a booth. We don't want a booth. We're never going to want a booth.
Yeah.
It's not
the thing is, I like booths, but you got to look at the booth.
And it depends. I need to know if the table is going to move. You feel me? And I need to know that I'm going with skinny people. Because if it's me and you, we're not going to the booth. Because now we're it's a tug of war for the table. You know what I mean? We got to go to the table. But if it's me, you, and a skinny person, cool. Me and you can take this side, skinny person on that side. We push the table to him now.
Yeah, that's so like with me and Kaylin. So my wife is very skinny.
Balance.
I could push that table all up in her stuff, and she still got room.
She got all the space.
Yeah.
She got
now,
all the space.
If that table's fixed, it's a wrap, bro.
Oh no, I'm not getting it. I'm not going to be able to breathe.
And you know what? I'll tell you, that's probably where you're most aware of how big you are.
No question about it.
A booth that if you can't fit in the booth, if you squeeze in there and you feel your stomach like going over, because the thing is you can't even like eat properly.
Yeah.
It's stopping you can't even bend.
Correct. Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like no space.
And not only that, but even if you are like me, especially when I first started losing weight, where I would be able to snug into a booth and be somewhat comfortable. You're about to eat, and nobody knows unless you're insanely skinny or fat. You actually don't know how food bloats you almost immediately as you eat it. You know what I mean? Like a regular normal sized person doesn't realize it, but when you're fat and you're in a booth, if you fit in the booth somewhat comfortably, by the end of that meal, you will no longer be comfortable. Your stomach.
Yeah, and you're going to want to get out because not only are you full, because you probably ate too much.
No question. I didn't get this one without eating too much.
But you know what I mean? But you want to get out of there because you're not comfortable.
No, and create insanely uncomfortable.
You're like almost like claustrophobic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you just feel like everything. Your clothes are tight, and then that booth.
You start sweating probably. You probably start sweating.
Oh yeah, then you gotta go. You gotta be out. You need
to go.
Yeah. No, and you know what? And guess what? It is our fault. You know, we understand that.
No, listen. Like, you know what?
We understand, but we're just telling you our plight.
Listen, I've been talking to my therapist, and I don't think it's my fault that much anymore. You know what I mean? I've learned a lot, and it has a lot to do with a lot of different factors.
Yeah, you know what? I will say that too. Yeah, it's not all my fault because guess what? Some of y'all been doing the same disgusting stuff, eating habits I had, and you know, by the grace of God, you had a metabolism that will burn right through that. It's not like you guys were, like no skinny person has told me something that they were doing that kept the weight off. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, you basically you've been doing the same thing that I was doing, but you just can burn calories.
You weren't depressed at that time. You know what I mean? I was depressed and putting on weight. You were happy as fuck and just burning calories for no reason.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, you know, it might catch up to you because you know you didn't think you were fat. You know, since you weren't fat, you thought you were good, but you're gonna find out you got diabetes.
Yeah, wait till that day when you got to talk nutrition. When someone's going to be like, yo, do you know anything about nutrition? And you're going to be like, no. Do you eat vegetables on my pizza? I do. Well, that doesn't work, my friend. You know what I mean? You're going to have to actually learn something about nutrition because fat people, we know all about nutrition. You know what I mean? What there is to know, we know all of it.
Yo. Won't catch me slipping if I'm actually thinking you're acting different. Manic, spitting sounds of manic depressant. Going through